Alrighty guys, we are back here with another review, and today we are talking about the one and only Rocket Companies, guys. You know them, you love them, and if you don't know them, well, let me introduce you to Rocket Companies, guys. You probably know them by one of their subsidiaries, whether it's Rocket Mortgage, Quicken Loans, Rocket Money, Redfin now, whether it's Rocket Auto, whether it's Dan Gilbert, Cleveland Cavaliers owner of the Quicken Loans arena, although you're not getting an ownership in that business. But Dan Gilbert is still the chairman of the company, while the CEO's name is Varun Kishnov. But he's a good guy, so don't get turned off by the name, all that stuff, guys. This is a very exciting company with a lot of things at play here. So 1 in 6 mortgages in this country is originated by Rocket Companies, which is great because this is a very fragmented space. Lots of local lenders out there at your favorite credit union, whether it's UWM is another player in the space. The bottom line, guys, is there's a lot of fragmentation, but Rocket Companies is coming out there with 1 in 6 mortgages being originated by them, and that is by far the market leader, which is great because that means the potential for them to continue to get the 5 out of 6, which means the majority of mortgages still aren't done by them, into their wheelhouse is really, really exciting, guys. But it's not just that. It's not just the potential there. Interest rates are coming down, guys, and as interest rates come down, this is when Rocket Companies really shines. The revenue has gone down a lot since 2021 when interest rates were near zero, and that was before the acquisition of Truebill, which is Rocket Money, before the acquisition of Redfin, which was last month, and then before the acquisition of Mr. Cooper, which was also last month. Mr. Cooper was about $7 to $9 billion, guys. The exact number was $9.4 billion, while Redfin was only $1.75 billion. And I think that's kind of a bargain for Redfin, which is a fintech platform, kind of like Opendoor, which you see exploding right now. But Redfin is kind of like that online platform, and their claim to fame was when they offered that 1% broker fee, 1% real estate agent fee for their services. Obviously, you expect them to do the bare minimum, but for 1%, you could actually get a closing cost on a real estate agent for 1%. So that was their true fame. But, they have a big repository of information. It's very similar in both cases to Opendoor. And I would argue Redfin is run better. And that's only one subsidiary of Rocket Companies, guys. But nevertheless, guys, I'm getting off track here. They did $5 billion this year, the past trailing 12 months, while back in 2021, when interest rates were at 0%, they were doing $13 billion in sales. And that was before those 3 acquisitions I just mentioned. So what that tells me, guys, is that $13 billion number is probably going to be blasted out of the water once the interest rates come down. And I spoke about this last week in my Opendoor video. Donald J. Trump, whether you like him or don't, I am indifferent to him. That's my honest opinion. I'm indifferent. I don't love him. I don't hate him either. I'm just in the middle because I do like stocks, and my stocks have done well under Trump, but at the same time, some of his other policies are not the best, so it's kind of just, you got to take the good with the bad. But nevertheless, guys, anyway, I keep getting off track, and I do apologize about that. He is pushing Jerome Powell to lower interest rates. Whether he is going to resign or cave under the pressure, there is now a Department of Justice probe on apparently spending 1.5, 2.5, whatever it is, $billion, renovating a building, guys. So the Fed building is apparently $1.5 billion repair, and apparently he forged some numbers, or a kind of stretched those numbers out for how much that stuff costs, which is not good. And then there's another thing too about some other thing that they knew about, and that something happened in the 90s, but they claim they didn't know, even though there was documentation that the Fed approved that they knew that happened or something. I don't even know. The bottom line is the Department of Justice is probing them on 2 different things, and this is definitely by Trump's directive. Let's be honest about this, guys. I'm sure whatever fraud is there is probably not that crazy, but I'm not disputing that there isn't fraud. I still think there's fraud. I think all government bureaucrats can commit some type of fraud, especially when you're leading these organizations. But, I'm sure there's bigger fish to fry out there, but Trump made it his mission to make this man either put up or shut up. Once interest rates go down and the Treasury fund rates go down, Rocket Companies is going to experience at a minimum a 3x revenue boost. And I know revenue is not everything. You need profitable growth. It's not just revenue. EPS needs to go up. The outstanding shares is pretty high, although most of it is not in the float because Dan Gilbert owns like 80 to 90% of the company, which means any shareholders don't really have any say over the company. And that definitely turned off some investors in the early days because you had the CEO, the original CEO when they went public, of Jay Farner, who couldn't do anything. He was incompetent. Then you had Dan Gilbert basically owning the entire Class B shares or whatever, Class C, whatever it is. So pretty much shareholders had no say anyway. So it almost didn't feel like a public company besides just having a public stock. And let's talk about the current CEO. I didn't mention him too much. Varun Krishnov. He used to be a VP or an EVP at Intuit. He was highly respected at Intuit, and Intuit is a behemoth, right? He was partially responsible for, getting that Credit Karma acquisition done because he's kind of the fintech, new generation guy. So he was instrumental there, and that's why you see, Redfin and Mr. Cooper now getting that stuff done with these days, and him helping close that deal, right? So all that stuff is really important, guys. But yeah, that is my opinion on Rocket Companies. It is undervalued as hell. I copped 500 shares, and I also copped 500 shares during the IPO, and I lost a lot of money. But then I sold out, waited a couple years, and now I'm back in, guys. I haven't been this hyped about the company since the IPO days in 2020, 2021. Which makes sense because that was a high revenue period of time for them. That was the time to kind of sell out and all that stuff. But overall, guys, yeah, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed none of that sponsored bullshit, I'm not telling you, join my members only Discord and I'll give you all my stock picks early. No, I ain't doing any of that. Don't sign up for, some stupid class or whatever or some random bullshit. I don't give you any of that shit. If you want to support me, you can give me a super thanks or whatever in the comment section below. You could also become a member, although you don't get anything for it really. So, that's the only thing I can conceivably give you is I unlist all my videos while I edit them through the YouTube editor. So if you check out my video and you're a member, you'll see that unlisted video before it goes public, which means you'll see it without any edits. So, if that gives you any satisfaction, or if you just want to support me, that helps too. I do have affiliate links, so I'm at least partially a shill. I won't say I'm not. So if you want, I have an Amazon link down below to something related to Rocket Companies, probably a book on how to invest, something like that. So just an Amazon link. It gives me a little bit of commission there. And obviously I'm an AdSense partner, so you see ads on the video and stuff like that. And finally, guys, pbosonline.com is my website. I make no money on this. I lose money on it, but it's a passion project. All of my videos are on there without any ads, but I also have written reviews on some products I've reviewed in the past and some stocks I reviewed. I have a photo gallery. You can buy professional photos I've taken from around the world. I do travel around Europe and America and stuff like that, so you can check out some of that photo gallery stuff there. And yeah, I have a shop there too with the P-Boss t-shirt and all that. It's great stuff, guys. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, favorite, put on the notification bell, and please turn off the Adblocker, guys, if you appreciate none of that sponsored bull crap. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. Thank you and bye.